what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. Today we will be discussing my brother's video, Conflicted Situation. I am his oldest sister, Alicia Sanchez. This is my mother.
Hi, Alisa Scott.
What's up?
And the infamous Travis.
Yeah.
And we have two missing. Ariel Davidson, who's not with us today. She lives in Abbeville, Louisiana. And
I want to thank Pastor Holman and Pastor August and Beth's family. And
we got one more missing too. Dathea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dathea Bessard. She had some things to do on the other side of town.
I thought you said two. I thought you said her name.
No, go ahead.
So, but, I mean.
That's okay.
So we call my brother Bub.
No, now we talking.
So Bub, what is the beginning of the video? How do you pronounce it?
Autonomic dysreflexia.
What is that exactly?
It's commonly in spinal cord injuries. It's since I can't feel nothing below my chest. It's when something is hurting.
The level of injury.
It's like when something hurting, like say if my legs hurting or my feet or something. It's my brain. It's the hurt sending signals to my brain, so I get the chills and I start sweating, and that's autonomic dysreflexia.
Man, the brain could work some crazy ways. That's amazing. So if your feet or your legs are hurting because it's below your injury, it'll send like signals to your brain.
Yeah, it could be my catheter tighten up, and that's the thing. You don't know what it is, so you have to look.
Too tight.
Yeah, you gotta start just looking from the bottom, like you gotta do a body search.
Just trying to figure out what it is. That's
where it's coming from.
And what happens. So you said, I heard you say you sweat. That's the only way
No,
you know.
It depends how bad it hurts, because sometimes you get like these migraines where it feels like your head about to explode.
It's deadly.
Yeah, it is.
It's deadly. And if he get
your
like
blood
that,
pressure rises sky high.
he's got like that
yeah,
one
it's crazy.
time.
So you gotta
Call the
figure it out.
ambulance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you could die from it. One time they also have this nitro paste that's supposed to bring his pressure down. That's what it do. It brings it down, right?
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to rub it in. But I didn't know no better.
At the time you learning, huh?
I didn't know no better. And I thought the boy was about to die. I started putting it on and rubbing it in. But they say you're just supposed to tap it on. But I mean, I was scared. This I always knew.
Yeah.
And when something hurting him, it's not like I could hit his leg and say, "Oh, Travis, you feel this? Is this what's hurting?" Or whatever. We gotta narrow it down ourselves. What could it be? Sometimes his socks is too tight, or like a lot of times, he want us to pull his boxes down. They could be bothering him, but he don't know. We just gotta check everything possible.
Right, and when we say below the injury, we mean from which point? Your chest and below. You cannot feel anything.
Yeah.
So it's just testing and trying to figure out what it is exactly that's bothering him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's autonomic dysreflexia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And then your song, you talk about you hurt. You have experience. Yeah, you hurt, but it's from different things.
No, but yeah, I speak of that like when I say you ever just been hurt and you don't know where that coming from. I'm saying like sometimes you might feel something wrong like within yourself and you might not even know what it is. Like if you angry about something, and I'm speaking from my childhood as me growing up, because like,
your song.
yeah, just me used to like, I don't know, I guess missing my dad, it just too really, because I was young, and just not really old enough to understand like what was going on, but there's something missing and you're hurt from something, so that's why I speak of that, and I still experience that to this day. Like sometimes, like I don't know if it be a spiritual thing where sometimes just something going on, something be wrong, and because it just be coming to me. And
can you say Travis always been like that growing up?
No,
but when he would get mad.
No, he was spaz out. He was spaz out.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But I can understand the confusion because even as an adult, adults go through different things and not knowing how to deal with it or not understanding where the pain or the hurt is coming from. So imagine as a child being, lost in a sense, one of your parents is incarcerated and you're just not understanding what's going on.
And that's a form of autonomic dysreflexia.
And I actually like that too, because when you said being in pain and not knowing where that's coming from, that can relate to your mindset or your physical body, what we just finished talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a way of him bringing awareness, because a lot of people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So we hoping that people do question, do ask, well, what is he talking about? And that's what it is, bringing awareness for people in his condition.
Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Then another thing you had trouble with when you say some of your ancestors were slaves, some of them were slave masters.
Yeah. Speaking on my, my daddy, the white side, my mom, the black side. And I was too young to really know this, but my mom had told me, like, she couldn't really go around my people until after she had me. So I guess just growing up. But as growing up, even like my grandma, my great-grandma who passed, you know what I'm saying? She had...
Rest her soul.
Yeah, rest her soul, but she was prejudiced, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she used to even call my little sister, like, the little N-word and all that. Probably because my little sister looked more mixed and I look white, but it was just, it was a conflicted situation.
And Mook, going there as young,
Yeah.
it's things
It's gotten better now, but
it's things.
it's
I guess I never realized as a child.
and now growing up.
Yeah, when I think back on it, they didn't treat me bad, but it's just things that's was said. And now that I'm old enough to know what was said, it's like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama used to say, we were white. She had to say that in order for her to accept us. And I used to argue, we are not white, we are black. But she'd be like, no, y'all are white. But it's just because it was really segregated,
Where we grew up. It was a small town.
Abbeville.
Mm-hmm. And why I say I had to fight a lot, because I look white, because I did. Because
you do.
I do. And growing up, people used to think like I was just trying to act black. Like and I used to get that. It'd be like, man, you used to try to, like, man, why you trying to act like, all that. So like,
over them trying to say, but
so I really used to have to fight behind that, because I used to get mad. Like, how you gonna tell me, like, you know what I'm saying?
And I guess your personality and everything, because you
on top of the anger and everything else, like,
you gravitate more to your mama's side than your daddy's side,
With just your personality.
Yeah.
But hey, it's okay to be white. I love being white too.
Did somebody say something was wrong with it?
Okay.
Huh? Did somebody say anything was wrong with it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh no.
But
we love the whiteness in you too.
Yeah.
we all have white.
For
Yeah, I
real
feel
though,
like we all
Mama
got
Allen.
everything.
Papa Michael. So
Okay.
it come from a lot of different places, but so just one side of the street, and where we live, where y'all grew up, we was in the projects, so that was totally, totally different. And then where you would go to your dad and them at, it's totally different, because, they lived in a house, you know what I'm saying, all of
So
that.
yeah, just that was a conflicted situation, just trying to, fit in, just
Both sides.
yeah, trying to be accepted, but like, yeah.
But even with your dad and them, as far as them...
Not as far as my family, I'm talking about outside of family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just being around friends, neighborhood, just growing up, like being accepted in that type of manner.
Yeah, I understand. And I never knew that until now, growing up. Now I know. I guess it wasn't something that kids go home and tell their parents, just because I'm a certain color, I got to fight or whatever, because I never knew that. I never knew Travis had so many problems because he looked white.
Everybody used to tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that was our brother.
But Ariel, she didn't have no issues because
she looked mixed.
Because she looked mixed.
Mm-hmm. But I'll just meet him, but you think,
And then people used to say, "Oh, Ariel not for Travis because he looked white and Ariel looked mixed, so that must not be her daddy." And oh Lord.
And then,
But think about the things Ariel didn't have been experienced with Mama, just with being caught.
That's a conflicted situation.
That's a lot.
I think that's why a lot of people can relate to it too. You know, a lot of people are of mixed race, so a lot of different people have to deal with both sides of their family and just trying to internalize and grow up and figure out who they are within both cultures of the family. Especially when one culture is more dominant or more significant in that family. Not significant, but more dominant or present within that child as opposed to the other. But you had both that were extremely present. So going around Mama Alice, which is our grandma.
It's more spiritual.
Yeah, we were more spiritual. I mean, I don't even remember identifying with race in the beginning of life. You know, it being a huge issue to me. However, you didn't experience that because you look more white and because you were, you know, always at one house or the other house. So I think a lot of people can relate to that in different ways.
Yeah. And I just thank God for these times. It's gotten a little better, even though it's still a lot of racist stuff going on. But I feel like just probably where I'm at, just, you know, it's just better, like mixed in, just how things coming, especially like, you know, I don't know, it's just,
Well.
yeah.
And what about, you know, in a song, you know, how Travis mentioned Mama Alice, you know, just what is Mama Alice to
this family?
To this family.
An
It's
angel.
my mama, and she is she the backbone. She is the person. She is it. She is it to all of us.
Yeah. Anytime. I mean, she might not have the answer, but just mentioning Mama, like, you know, the part, I love our relation. I mean, anybody, that's our part. Even my children, you know, and they didn't even grow up with Mama like we did.
But they know Mama Alice, and, you know, and I think, you know, that was good for Travis to say that on the song.
Man, just being around it's like, it's calming to the spirit. It's just, it does something good, like just her presence.
Yeah, when she at the house, when she come visit, it's just, Travis, they have a good time. They be in there singing, clapping, having church, you know. But that's just how she is. And
you know how many people, grandma, like, that's they Mama, not
blessed.
Mama Alice, but they felt that. I love that's, you know, a lot of people feel that from their grandma.
People used to always tell me, though, that they wish they had a mama like I did. A lot of people used to say, man, I wish I had a mama like you, you know.
It's also, you know, peaceful, you know, to be going through something and then talk to Mama. It's not like she make everything all right, but she just put it in a way of like, you know.
You're going to get through it.
You're going to get through it.
She a
Because
peacemaker,
she been through
too.
a lot.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'd be like, Mama, now you know this how it is. Well, no, you know, it could be. And I'd be like, come on.
She be,
Like, that's not, I said,
That's
you know
not what God
exactly. Oh, Lord Jesus, yes. But, hey, that's who brought me up in church, you know. And if it wouldn't be for that, I wouldn't have known to bring y'all to church, you know.
She was our Sunday school teacher.
She sure was. I was Sunday school teacher.
So, I thank God for that, too. I thank God for that, too. Tell them how you still get impatient. I mean, let's talk about how you still get impatient. And be ready to and just throw it all away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just who I am. Like,
Ben.
yeah.
Ben. But progress, huh?
Yeah, I'm working on it. God's still working on me. Yeah.
What kind of things, though, tell Mook that Mook, what you think could just be making him just go off?
Spaz out? I mean, since the accident?
Just, yeah.
I mean, since the accident, just frustration on not being, in full control of his body. I know, like, if I go over to the house to help, he's not really gonna ask me to help.
Because y'all gonna get into it.
I don't know how to do it as good as mama.
And
so
then he gonna feel
he
like
don't want to explain everything to me. He'll call Riley before he'll call me.
Because Riley got patience.
So just frustration of not being in full control and then not wanting to explain something every time to somebody.
Yeah.
And what you tell him?
Something.
Look, I am not mama.
I sure do. But then Buck had a bad attitude.
And that's what he said, conflicted just from growing up.
Yeah, because I used to I was trying to be more independent, so being dependent, totally dependent on somebody, you go from trying to do everything to yourself to like, now you gotta swallow your pride. You gotta ask you gotta ask somebody to do everything, like, and that was a conflict. That was a conflicted situation. But what I mostly be getting impatient about is the issue with my son.
I was about to say that.
That's the most thing. That's really why, like, I be so quick to like I just want to make it. I want to get a bag, so I could have the means to have my son and be a provider. And that's the most thing I be getting impatient about, because I done missed a lot of his baby years, then in the situation with my daddy taking care of him, and, we not having that good of a relationship. And so I really be having to, like, swallow my pride just to call and see my son, because I know it's, just, you know what I'm saying?
And I get bothered.
Yeah, so a lot of times, like, I go without seeing my son because just that feeling, that negative feeling of like what me and him got going on. But like, and that's another conflicted situation. But so
T-Top, we come and get you.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm thankful. That.
We know where.
Yeah, I'm thankful that I know where he at, and they're taking care of him. But as far as like me getting on the phone and having to fake and do all this and that, like I just really be wanting to see my son, and it's just it be a lot. Like even like when he get off the phone, and he be like like I love you, which I know he do, but in a sense I be like,
you mean, your dad?
My daddy, yeah. It'd be kind of hurtful, because I'm like, if you really love me, like, you'll show me, like, it'll be an action instead of you just telling me this, like, you know what I'm saying, you really not doing nothing to help my situation out, and plus you got my son, you know what I'm saying, so.
That's what's really.
Yeah, and that's really why I be getting impatient, like, I just be wanting to make some shake to, and just.
A little help.
Yeah, that's all, that's all, just.
Let me see my son.
I always wanted,
and when you say let me see my son, you mean like physically, like not
like
just
I want to have him.
Yeah.
Like let him come.
I really wish I could raise him.
I can't come get him, so
bring him halfway.
So can you bring my son? Because I can't physically go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And the other day, yesterday, or day before yesterday, I was like, Travis, you know what? I mean, this is sad that your daddy get to see your son more than you do. Man, this is just messed up, man. This ain't right. But like I say, sometimes I get real upset just thinking about it, because I know we want to have him with us. And the fact, like I told Travis, I say, now, if you was a father that didn't want to be involved, he don't even want to have nothing to do with his baby, but he want to be involved with his baby. He want his baby down here,
And I know God does everything. He does everything for a reason. So the whole situation, I know is not. I try to look. Is not really like that much of a bad thing. It's of course it's what I be wanting and I be missing and what I be dealing with. But I also be like hoping in some type of form, aspect. Maybe it's like, it could be like my daddy, I don't know, feeling some type of redemption with my son, trying to, I don't know, get a chance. So he want to, you know what I'm saying?
But to me, fixing it is making sure that they have a relationship and don't be like him and, how they are.
And maybe he has to learn that, like, you know, maybe he just don't know. Some people just, you know what I'm saying?
But look, you know why when Bob said when he had to fight, what you say, I throw him?
Like Tyson,
Yeah.
you show him like show and tell day.
You know what that mean? Whenever you was like when you said what else you said? I can't think of that part. Say it.
Wait. I had to fight a lot because I was white, but I'm like, hey, I throw him like Tyson and show him like show and tell day. I don't even know prices. I ain't even in the game today. In my own lane, swing and bang to the truth, the trade way.
That right there, the trade way.
Yes,
Oh,
Mama.
okay. I didn't know if we had, because a lot of people don't know what he's referring to
You
whenever
know,
he
Mama
says
old
that.
school
Mama,
kind.
you showing your age.
Oh,
People
okay.
can't tell when they look at you, but you're showing your age. Right?
Oh,
It's okay.
baby.
It's okay.
They might be sitting here. I mean, people be like, well, who is the mama and who is the
Girl.
well, who is the mom and who's the daughter? But
They know now.
anyway, I guess the thing about that song, I can tell you that that song, you know, Travis can't write, so most of the time I'm writing, and you know, as he telling me the lyrics, I'm writing them down, and you know, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was, you know, writing those couple of days until we got in a studio. When we got in a studio and I was just chilling or whatever, and Travis was making a song. And I remember looking up at him like, pistol to my, I'm looking up, I'm like,
Is this what this boy's talking about?
yeah, you know, but then I'm like, oh my God, this would, look what them children went through.
You didn't think we remembered?
No, I guess not, because we never talked. I was sitting there, I started crying because I haven't thought about it.
I remember you called us after, I don't know if it was right after, but you called me and asked me if I remembered.
Yeah, no, after he made the song, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at that time, before we got to the studio, I had forgot all about this, and it's not, like I told you, it's not a conversation that you have with kids growing up. Like, growing up, I mean, when this happened, what we talking about right now, Travis? So we, you know, people understand.
The home invasion.
Yeah, and the fact that,
We were all young. Bub had to be how old?
3 or 4.
yeah.
So that means I was like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or it had to
And
be 1
Ariel.
or 2.
Had to be 1 or 2, and then they was like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, like I say, when that happened, it's not a conversation that a mother go and be like, so what y'all thought about that day and this and that, you know, and you know how our life was
I think,
since then. And
I think a lot of I also think you didn't grow up in the sense of knowing to go back and talk about that, because you went through it too. Like, we all
Yeah.
went through it. So we all had to come out of it. So I think you just didn't think or know to come back and talk to us about it. And, you know, as time went on, we just got past it and we just never talked about it.
but to see Travis,
To hear that in his
yeah,
song.
to hear that, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that day, you know, that day. And so what you remember, Mook?
I remember Nene waking me up. We were in our rooms in the bunk bed, and she woke me up scared. Was like, somebody is in our house. We need to hide. And so we hurry up. We could hear somebody walk into the room. So Nene was already under the bed hiding.
And they say she told you,
She-
Mook, we gotta hide.
She did.
And you pulled the cover.
It's all I could do. I mean, we could hear somebody walk into the room, and I'm scared. All I could do at the moment was pull the cover over my head. But I don't know how, but I remember they didn't look at, we had bunk beds, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't look at the bottom bunk where I was. They only looked at the top bunk. And then walk back out, I remember seeing somebody's legs
Mm-hmm.
walk in the room and then walk back out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ariel was in the bed with me.
Mm-hmm.
And Ariel, always being the nosy little kid she is, jumped out the bed so quick. And before I could grab her, she had to ran out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just remember it was just a bunch of commotion in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Nene wasn't getting up to go
Yeah.
see.
So and y'all didn't actually see what was
No,
going on.
we
Y'all
just
could just
could hear
hear.
everything.
You see, and I guess after, Travis with that song, and then so I asked each one of y'all what y'all remembered about that. And that's what you remembered. And Nene was here to tell her side, but she told me, she said she heard it. She said she heard the knock, she heard all that. She said, because you didn't hear nothing. She said, so she got up and she said, Mook, we got to hide. And then she said, Mama, she said, and that dummy, she gon' put, that's why I kind of laughed. She said, and that dummy gonna go ahead and put the cover over her head. She said, but I wasn't worried about Mook. I got under that bed. She said, and then here come Mook. But then, of course, like Mook said, Ariel, she didn't want to get under the bed. Mm-hmm. She wanted to go see what the noise was. Mm-hmm. And I know Mook said that... Nene, but I'm back to you when you told me about, Mama, I just kept, I was trying to hold Ariel, but I let her,
Yeah,
I let her go.
I tried to catch her. I tried. I mean, I had her like right at the tips, because I knew that was dangerous. I knew she didn't need to go in there. Mm-hmm. And she had a pamper on and nothing else. Mm-hmm. And I tried to catch her diaper. But I mean, she shot out. She was going so fast.
And when I was talking to Travis afterwards, I was like, imagine what kind of effect that could have had on Mook if
they would have kept her. Something would have happened to her. So they ended up grabbing her, taking her out of the house, putting her in the car, and driving off with her. And
then the way they got in the house was. Whenever they knocked on the door, we used to know this guy, and his name, well, rest in peace, Cedric, but we used to know, and we thought that was him. Well, Travis thought that was him. He had his head against the door, so really, Travis couldn't see his face.
The full face.
Yeah, so, he was opening the door for
My
him.
daddy named Travis, by the way, that's what you're talking about.
But yeah, so...
it wasn't him.
Yeah, and when they came in, when Big Travis saw the gun, he tried to push the door back. But Lil Travis always slept with us, and I told him, I said, I see why you messed up too, because he was always in the bed with us, and a lot of things happened. Police that came our house, everything, flashlights. He's always been in the bed, always. So he has experienced, I guess, a lot more than y'all did, But anyway, we could hear what was going on with Travis in the front. We could hear the boys, we could hear them beating him. And I kind of walked to the door. When I saw that, I knew that we needed to, we had a gun. And I knew some kind of way I needed to get that gun to Big Travis. So what I done was I got the gun from under the bed, and I didn't want the guys, to see me with the gun. I was going to try to some kind of way hand it to Big Travis. So just to kind of conceal it, I was holding Travis, I'm holding him, but I got the gun, just point up in it, not holding him, sticking him up, but just holding it in his back while I'm holding, to hide it. So whenever we get by his daddy, I could give it to him. And then I remember when they came in the room, in our bedroom, Big Travis came in there. They wanted money or dope. And Big Travis was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. But what he actually was doing was going to the bed. He was going under the bed looking for his gun because he knew his gun was there, but little did he know I actually had it.
Bub, you remember that?
Oh, do you?
Not to that detail.
Yeah, that detail. He wouldn't know why I had, So,
but you remember Mama holding you?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I remember I was 3 or 4 watching my daddy getting whipped. I remember seeing that. Yeah, he was crying, they was beating him, he was all
Blood.
red. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then you stormed
I can
the
still
most
see that to
because
this day.
he came in the room with us. They wasn't in the room with us. You know, so Big Travis actually, we was all in our bedroom together. You know, and when when he figured out what Big Travis was trying to do, it wasn't really no money, that he was probably going for a gun or something. I remember he shot at Big Travis, but Big Travis jumped over the bed because they had a big old hole in.
I remember that.
Okay, they had a big old hole in my mattress and everything because they actually shot. But then, and I can remember that had to piss me off. And I told Bub, I said, it's like I had adrenaline rush, you know, like a survivor kind of thing. I know how to shoot now, but I told him, just think, you see, because one of them just standing right here by me, and I'm holding it, Travis, and I got the gun. And, you know, I felt like I was so mad because they had invaded our privacy, and I was just so mad that I would have took that gun and shot him. He was right there by me, and he didn't even know I had the gun.
Yeah.
So
Imagine what that would have done to us.
yeah, but I mean, he need to be lucky too, whoever that was, because he would be gone. But anyway, back to the story. After that, that's when Nosy Ariel comes. She comes in there. The guys are getting mad with Travis because remember, first of all, he had them believing he was going to get drugs from under the bed, but it wasn't none. So now he was about to go to another spot. And wait, let me back it up too. Let me tell y'all how them boys figured that there must have been something in there. Because Big Travis had just went on a drug run with somebody, and Bubba tell you who that is. He had just came back from Texas. So his friend who he was with knew he had something. So he knew it had to be something in that house. So he's the one that actually sent the boys there. He didn't come there himself. He sent the boys there because he knew it should have been something in there. But anyway, back to Ariel. So they was getting aggravated because Travis really didn't, it was really nothing at the house. So they went, and when Ariel came, walking her little self in there, that's when they picked her up. And they put the gun to her head, and they was like, you better give it to us, you better give it to us, you know. And he was like, I don't even have nothing to give y'all. So that's when they took Ariel. They took her and had ran out, and then I was able to, some kind of way, give the gun to Big Travis. There was a lot of commotion going on. And they put Ariel in the car. They took her. It was a whole Wild Wild West out there, too. Because we was living in a trailer park. We got put out because of what had happened. Because then Big Travis was shooting at one of them, and he was shooting back at Big Travis. And all the while...
Me and they was peeping out the window.
Oh, y'all saw this? You know, I didn't even know y'all was peeping out the window. I mean, we could laugh now, but it definitely, you know, it wasn't funny at the time.
You don't remember us screaming? We said, Big Travis, we saw him put Ariel in the car. They drove
I don't
off.
remember that. I don't remember that. It's just, it was a lot going on. But thank God, we lived in a trailer park, and thank God they put her down, you know,
At the end of
the road. Oh, thank God they did, because I don't know if any of us would have came back from that. Any of us.
I think that's a whole conflicted situation.
That is, and
with grace and mercy.
thank God, nobody but him. Because, Lord, if my baby would be gone, whoo, Jesus. And I just felt
Grace
like
and mercy.
that would have had a big effect on Mook, because she was like, Mom, I was trying to save her. I was trying to hold Ariel. And I felt like, you know, she probably would feel some kind of way guilty because she was trying to hold her. But thank God.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
But I know whenever I said the boys had came with Travis, the guy had came with Travis to do the run, that's in the song when Lil Travis talk about, tell him,
About what?
When you say, you know, I felt if I
Oh yeah, if I knew who did it, would have killed him.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't him, I probably would have killed someone innocent.
and the reason he say that is because
Yeah, just wind got around as I got older, you know, and just talked about it and just, because I was doing my research. I was, you know.
Because it affected you that
Yeah,
much.
and plus,
That you wanted to grow up and find out.
now you
Yeah.
3 at that time, but now you older. How old you are, and you finding
like
out?
17, 18.
Yeah, and you trying to still seek revenge.
Yeah, I was just, I don't know, it just was bothering me.
How did you find out about that guy?
Well, just, you know, I was in the
Talking around
streets,
town.
so
Okay.
the streets talk, you know, and that's why I say I don't know if that really was who I found out that was him, but yeah, it just,
But after you talked to me,
yeah, I felt some type of way about that.
and you seen him one time, huh?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because how the story, and I found this, I seen him, I think, one time I was like probably 11 years old, and I remember I was somewhere behind the house on Happy Hill, and the dude who they said it was supposed to be, he was like, and this was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm 11 years old, but I'm with my uncle. Like my uncle thugging at the time, so I'm just
Your
riding my
daddy,
bike
little
with
brother.
her. Yeah, you know, my dad in the feds at the time. But the dude was like, I don't know, he had like this evilish look, and he was like, he told me he was my daddy. And he, this tall black dude, and I'm like,
Trying to play you.
yeah, but I don't even know, but I'm like, I know you're not my daddy, like, you know what I'm
Good, when
saying?
Buck told me that,
Yeah.
after this song, I said, what the hell? I said, what he meant by that? Because
And as
he don't
I
know
got-
me like that.
And as I got older, and like, you know, 2 + 2 = 4, when they said the dude's name, and from what I remember, I was like, wow, I wonder why he would have told me that. Like, so it just made me figure, like, could that been who they said that was? I don't know, but you know, good thing I never really seen him after. I only seen him that one time in my life when I was 11, and yeah, so.
But I think, like you said in the song, I think if you'd have been older and, you know, you probably would have done him something, you know.
No, I know if I would have seen him around that time, I would have done him something. But, you know, so.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God.
thank
Thank you,
God.
Lord. Praise the
For
Lord.
real though, because, for real.
Then you did that home invasion.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like, that's why I say how the cycle continues, because that got done to us, and it's like me wanting to get revenge on that, plus just being in the streets. When something had happened, this little issue that really wasn't even that serious, but it's like, I was like, man, well, you know, they done did that to us when I was a baby. I was like, why not go do it to, you know, the dudes that we put the home invasion on? Like, you know, that was, and it was crazy because it was with 2 older dudes, and me being the youngest one, I was the one who put this in motion, that put the whole home invasion in
And who's
motion.
being
Like,
a real leader at that point?
yeah, I mean,
No, for real.
Yeah.
none of
Everybody
us,
lost.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
Lord, and I remember when they called. Oh,
Mhm.
Lord Jesus.
And to be honest, that wasn't even worth it. Like, that was really just dumb. That was really dumb. Just, I guess, me just
Being lost.
just being
Doing
lost.
stuff.
In Abbeville and
Yeah.
just not doing nothing but just running the street, you know, and then
But I really felt like that. I was like, man, I was done to me. I was like, why not go do it to somebody?
Really?
And do you know, I'm idolizing people that's doing it at the same time. So it's like, I might as well, like, you know, I might as well just keep it going. And it's crazy, but that's really how I felt at the time. That's really like my mind frame. Like,
You think that, like,
and that's a
now-
lot of people mind frames out there, you know. That's
That's
Yeah,
what I was
you're
about
right,
to say.
you're
You
right.
think now, being able to reflect on that and knowing
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. You don't think it's something that maybe you could say or some type of advice you could give to be like, you know what, I know it happened to us and it feel like it's just, we in the hood, it's just gonna happen, but.
I know one thing, the cycle continues, and if you play into it, it's just gonna keep continuing. It's gonna come back on you again. Cause like, even though I went to jail for it, when I came home, I got robbed at gunpoint at my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it keeps on going. So my advice to somebody is like, man, you could break it. You could, you know what I'm saying? Or you could let it keep going and it's going to come back on you, and sometimes it might come back on somebody you love. But it's a cycle. So if you play into it, it's just going to keep spinning. It's going to keep spinning. So you could stop it. You could get out of it, try to break it. But other than that, just expect it to come back around. Just expect the same thing you're doing to come back on you or something you love, like, because that's what a cycle does.
And I remember when it was on the news that they was looking for him, I was like, Travis is not. They was like he was this like most wanted person. I was like, they don't even know Travis. Travis is not like that. I was having a heart attack, and just to know that they was looking for him like that and they couldn't find him, and where he was on his way to Houston, and when he got here, I was so nervous. You remember, Mook? I was throwing up. I couldn't even leave. You was at the bus station. I had to send Mook to go get you because I couldn't even drive at all. And you and one of the guys who did it, I let you know, y'all came to my house. He came too and stayed there overnight. And, you know, I told you, Travis, you on the news, you're on the news.
And that wasn't a good feeling. So you see,
you gotta go turn. Yeah.
So that's the thing about the cycle. It's not just gonna keep affecting you. It's gonna affect those around you.
Oh yes.
You know, so
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like you know, the end when you got Pastor Holman and Pastor August.
Yeah.
And, Bun B.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and Mama. And y'all all, you know, coming together, it kind of showed, like, I don't know, I guess to me, not being a part of the writing process or the video, to me, it's like the beginning, you kind of telling this full story, but then the end, I see, like, growth, and I see, like, okay, what it looked like, he's trying to do something different. Like, yeah, he went through all of that, and he learned, and yeah, he had and is still going through a lot of conflicted situations. But look where he is now, and look what he's trying to do to change and improve that through the church. You know,
because of grace and mercy. I give it to God, grace and mercy.
Oh, yeah, glory
and
to God.
And when you just think about the grace and the mercy, especially he just bestowed in my life, all from what I did and been through, and just, man, and from where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, just the video, like, Bun B sitting there listening to it, like,
he knew
I got my pastors, my mama, like, all this is therapeutic. This is helping me become the man I am. Like, all this, you know what I'm saying?
And
so
that's what I told him, that it was so symbolic. I didn't even realize at the time how symbolic it was, but Travis, in front of all of us, that's been his supporters. That's like who is helping to mold him right now. His pastors, you know, Bun has played a big part, you know, trying to help him. And it's just, that was all the people that want good for him, the best for him, was sitting in front of him. And I think that was real symbolic. We didn't even think of it like that till afterwards. Yeah.
Man. Say what you was about to say.
Oh, no, I was going to say, no, I'm proud of you.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too.
Knowing where you come from and knowing and being a part of that. And
but I
just
still got a whole lot more to go. I ain't like,
all of us.
But I'm just thankful that, like, I'm in a position where hopefully, like, I can inspire and can, like, just to show people, like, how God work. Like, man, if you just lean on him and, like, you know, just believe, and you know what I'm saying? You get around some praying people, get around some similar
That's what
folk.
they need.
Man, come to Bethel's, like, for real.
For real.
Like, it's a real family.
For real.
But
a real church for real people.
Yeah, and just to try to help, just, you know, doing my part, you know. It's God's work, not like it's I'm just a servant. Like, that's it. Like,
You're right.
To,
You're right.
to just end that. I mean, the crazy thing is, we have always said, like, what is God trying to do for Bub?
Mm-hmm.
What position is he trying to put you in? Because something has always happened to you where we've been like, that should have been the end for him. That should have been it. That should have been it for you. And it's like God kept going. I mean, it took, you know, for you to be in this situation, for you to finally be like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it for God. Not for you. Not for the bag specifically, but for God. You know, for
Most
God's
definitely.
glory. And I feel like he's been trying to put you in this situation. But what's also beneficial, too, is you coming from where you from and doing what you did. I feel like you showing other people that it don't take this long. You don't have to wait this long.
Mm-mm.
Your back don't have to be this far back up against the wall for you to finally realize God has a plan for me. You can just be, you know, Joe Blow and just going through something small and understand that your plan is already set in place. It's just up to you to go ahead and be
It's a
ready
choice.
to make that decision.
It's a choice, Pastor
and go
Holman.
ahead and talk to God about
it's a
it.
choice. But Travis, did you know, like, when you first came home from the hospital, you didn't really know, really though, what you were going to be doing, right? No, because you was going through so much with your baby.
Man, I thought life
Just
was
life.
over.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I had suicidal
Yeah,
thoughts.
you did. You did. You want to drive yourself on. You want to get in that wheelchair and go on Highway 6
Yeah,
and
I
let
didn't wanna
somebody
live.
hit you.
Yeah, I
I
really
don't
wanted to
think-
know what's the reason I'm still here
Yeah.
for real, because it didn't make sense at
Yeah.
all.
You see, but I knew it had to be
Didn't
something.
make sense.
I knew it had to be something because it's just no way you could have made it. It's just no way you should have made it. And by you making it, and just by knowing the person you are, I know God could use you because you love everybody, you know. And you, I know it had to be something good because somebody like you, he could definitely use because you love people and you're not trying to take advantage of nobody.
I'm just trying to help.
That's all. That's all.
I'm just trying to get on and help people get on and just
Mm-hmm.
break curses, build generational wealth. Like, I'm just
Break
trying to help.
generational curses, right?
Yeah.
T-Tide.
And just help, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's always been about that with me, though.
Help my
Even
mama.
being in the streets, like,
So she won't
that
hurt
was
her
my
back.
whole, most definitely, though. Like,
For sure. I think, this was a great video.
It came out real
It came out
good.
really good. I saw the vision. Seeing it, you could see the vision behind it.
That's God.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think you could pray us out without it being one of Uncle Liston prayers?
Girl, he told me the other day.
You think it could go
Yeah, I
without
could do
being
that.
He
5
told me
minutes?
the other day for Paris, he did an Uncle Liston prayer.
Baby, that
She had no idea what was coming.
5-10 minutes.
Uncle Liston to have
You
you.
could keep it down to a
yeah.
quick prayer.
Okay.
All right.
Father God, I just want to thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord. Thank you for the blessings that you bestowed upon us, Lord. Thank you for Bethel's family, Lord. Lord, please just forgive us for our sins, Lord, please. And for the ones out there that's watching and listening, God bless them. And I pray that this reaches the lives of families to help them, like, break cycles, Lord, and just, you know what I'm saying, and just show them the works of you, of all what you're doing and what you can do, Lord, so they could get closer to you. And Lord, to be honest, it's no greater relationship than anybody in this world when, like, than with you. Like, you are the greatest relationship, and just the marvelous and miraculous things you could just show us, like. And I just thank you for that, Lord. And I just ask, you know what I'm saying, that you just keep using us. Just keep using us, God. And that's it. And I ask that in your beautiful, magnificent, powerful Son name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.